The highest sentence was on count 6, that's 7 years. He got a maximum on count 6. That was a count for in excess of $15 million. The lowest was 5 years. That 5 years was on the falsification of the minutes. And on the falsification of the account, he got 6 years.
He was once the most popular banker in Grenada, chauffeured around by a white-gloved driver. Today, dressed in black with his glasses set on his forehead, Fintan de Burgh took his seat in the docket with his hands crossed over his chest. In the beginning of the sentencing procedure, he was asked if he had anything to say, to which he responded, "Yes, I do." After listening to his character witnesses, both of whom painted a positive picture of him, de Burgh took the stand, repeating several times that he was not guilty of the charges against him. Overcome with emotion, tears stopped his presentation on 2 occasions. But despite his attempt to clear himself, presiding judge Paula Guilford, based on the evidence presented to the court, told Mr. de Burgh that he was responsible for his own downfall. Refusing to accept responsibility for the collapse of the bank, in fact, did not help his case either. The judge made it clear that she must send a strong warning to possible would-be offenders to deter them. The loss incurred by depositors was a major role in the sentencing handed down today. Judge Guilford advised Mr. de Burgh that when he sits tonight to contemplate the sentence by looking within himself. Director of Public Prosecutions Christopher Nelson spoke to the media after the sentencing.
The learned trial judge delivered a first-of-a-kind sentence. We have never had conviction for the principal counts as, in a previous matter. It was comprehensive, it was thorough. She reviewed all the evidence, and she had some pointed words for Mr. de Burgh, which I think were apt having regard to the evidence. In effect, she said that Mr. de Burgh was trying to pass himself off as being Snow White, when in fact he was the directing mind and the directing hand behind both companies involved, and it was his conduct that ultimately resulted in the collapse of the bank.
Attorney-at-law George Prime represented de Burgh.
Well, those are facets for the client. I believe that with time he may make all the necessary application. As you know, this is an adversarial system. If he's dissatisfied with a particular decision taken by a particular court, then there is a higher court that he can go to, which is the Court of Appeal. If he's dissatisfied with the Court of Appeal, he could go to the Privy Council. So as of now, I cannot say what is the course of action. But my own instinct is once he feels aggrieved with the decision, then an appeal is the process that he must go.
De Burgh, after serving his 23 years in prison, is being ordered to repay Capital Bank International $16,625,658.25 with a 6% interest rate until the sum is paid in full. Failure to pay will result in him spending another 3 years in prison. Tony Julian, GBN News.